Welcome back to Hermitcraft FTB Monster. Well, there's been some input, and I do appreciate that. Actually, I think there was a couple of people that suggested that this armor stand would transfer all the items on it and swap out for what I'm wearing if I were to put a redstone signal to it. So I put a lever right here, turn it on, and just by regular clicking, nothing's happening. Now, a shift click, and it's swapping one item at a time, just like it was before. So, I don't know. Maybe it's a config thing or whatever, but it doesn't seem to be working. Another thing that someone suggested, and I'm going to give it a try, and I'm doing this try on camera. I've already tried it off camera. I'm doing it on camera just to demonstrate that I don't believe it's going to work. Okay, here's a good likely spot right here. Okay, let's get some of these rainbow saplings, and we'll plant 4 of them. And I will get some bone meal. Now normally, bone milling these things will, especially if it's planted in a 2x2 like this, it will get them to grow. And as you can see, I am into my second stack of bone meal and nothing is happening. These things just simply will not grow. Okay, here goes the third stack of bone meal. Nothing is happening. So these things just simply won't grow in a taint biome, apparently. Now, I am going to try one other thing. And I'm going to plant them in a 3x3. Just in case that's how they need to plant, because I don't actually quite remember. It's been a while since I've used these things. And no, that's not working either. And I don't believe they go, just as a single, but I'll try a single one. Just in case that's the way it needs to go. And no, they are not growing. Those suckers will not grow, at least not in this area. So, and the idea was that apparently the rainbow tree saplings were supposed to take care of removing the taint. And I don't know, maybe there's a configuration difference in whatever setup that you were doing that in, but it's not working here. But that's okay. I have a way to remove the taint, to reverse its effect. And that's what all this Thaumcraft stuff is all about. Bearing in mind, Thaumcraft is a taint is a Thaumcraft thing, so you probably should need a Thaumcraft mechanism to reverse it. Okay, I've also gone ahead and moved my crucible in here and set up an infinite water supply there for refilling it. And now let's address this thing. I spent a fair amount of time working with this off camera in a test world, and each and every time it worked perfectly. So we've got the stone bricks, the arcane stone brick. Whoops. Not you, not there, there. It gets put down in a 3x3 with the arcane stone bricks in the corners. And then on top of each one is an arcane stone block. And then the runic matrix goes on top in the middle, hanging there. And if we look at the Thaumonomicon, the formula for building this thing, arcane stone bricks in the 3x3 in the corners, and then arcane stone blocks above them, and in the middle you've got the runic matrix, and these items here are not glass, they are empty space. And then of course in the middle the arcane pedestal. So we'll go ahead and drop a pedestal down there, and now the gold capped great wood wand with 50 V's of each kind. And I'm going to go ahead and switch to that. Switch to this. Right click on the matrix. And this time it works. Exactly why it wasn't working before, I don't know, because I did the same thing just now as I did before. And now I'm going to go do something else too. Let me hit F7. Show the spawnable areas here. I am going to change the way I'm doing the lighting. Instead of going out here and using these lux capacitors on the floor like I did over here, I am going to start using the nitor. And I think that will do a better job. It's not quite as harsh of a lighting solution. Yeah. Yes, I think that will be better. And I think I drop one in here, one in there, and there, and in there. That will take care of that. It lights it up. It makes it look good. And I'll just drop this last one right there. And temporarily shoot another couple of lux capacitors over here and there to get rid of the remaining spawnable. Alright, there we go. Now that this thing is put together, we can get some other stuff going. And I'm going to take a moment, look that up, and get myself prepared with the items I need, and I'll be back. All right. Now, one of the things I was going to need in my quest to do what I want to do is I'm going to need the silver wood wand core. And in order to make that, I'm going to need this construct over here. And that's all fine and dandy. But in order to fuel this construct, it draws the Essentia it needs from nearby jars of Essentia. And if I go back here, boarded jars. Simple enough, some glass panes and slab, and one aqua. And here is just a simple shapeless crafting recipe for jar labels. And so on. So that's all fine and dandy. And then to fill the jars, you need this, Essentia distillation. First, you build an alchemical furnace of a crucible, a furnace, and some arcane stone. And then you make V's filters, and use the V's filters to make arcane alembics. And that is going to break down whatever you put into the arcane furnace, or whatever that's called, and render it into individual aspects that can be then sent through an arrangement of tubes or pipes to be stored in the jars. Okay, let's just pop this down here, whack it with a wand, pick it back up. Alright, now what's the rest of that? A furnace and some brick. Okay. Amazing, I don't have any cobble on me. Okay. Here's our furnace. Put that in the middle. And this goes up here, and some arcane stone. Drop a wand in there, and bang, we have the alchemical furnace. Alright, now we need the alembic. It's going to need the Vise filters, and I figure I'm going to need at least 4 of them, so we'll go ahead and make 4 Vise filters. Let's see, need some silverwood logs. Not a problem. And some gold. Okay, silverwood logs. Alright, there's 4 Vise filters. And then the next step is to take the Vise filters, combine them with a bucket, some gold, and some iron, and make the arcane alembics. Okay. Okay, and the 4 Vise filters. That one doesn't have enough juice in it. This one will. And there's 4 of the arcane alembics. Okay. Now, the way this works, set this up, the furnace here, and just a second. There. That was a lot easier. Okay. So we put something in here, and some fuel, either coal or elementum or any number of other things, I think. And it breaks the elements down into whatever aspects that make them up. And then we use tubing, the Essentia tubing, which is quicksilver, glass, iron, and gold, a little bit of Vise. And it gets you 6 tubes per manufacture. I'm going to need a bunch of those, I'm sure. Combine a tube with a lever to get a valve, a valve tube. Okay, so let me look at that again. All right, 2 iron, 1 gold, glass, and quicksilver. Get some more gold, some more iron, and I've got some glass and some quicksilver. All right. Okay, I'm going to have to go and recharge the freaking wand. So I'm going to recharge the wand. I'll come back and get the rest of these made up, and we'll pick up from there. Okay, I've got a bunch of Essentia tubes and some Essentia valves fixed up here. And the next step on this is to make up a bunch of warded jars. It's just glass panes and oak wood slab, or well, whatever kind of slabs. So I've got some slabs, and I've got a bunch of glass panes. Just make up a whole mess of these jars. Alright, there's 27 of them. That's a good start. And now comes the tricky part. So we have to pipe the output from these arcane alembics out to fill these jars. Now, time was, not too long ago, in a slightly more older version, you could just take these jars and line them up like that, and then you could run Essentia tubing out to each one, if I can learn to aim. like so. And then you could just drop something in here, say wood slabs, some coal, and that would burn it up, break it down into its component Essentia, and pipe it out to the jars. Like for example, this one has got arbor in it, and these don't have anything in it. You see this steam pushing out of the thing. And it's because this one's got arbor, and apparently that's all that's coming out at the moment. But there is a leakage problem here. Now I'll go ahead and break that tubing off of there. But it used to be that whatever's, okay, slabs. Well, I'm not seeing anything. All right. Cobble has the stone and Perdido items in it, so we'll put some of that in there. And it will appear there, and the other will appear up there. And if I were to put the pipes back, you see the arbor is going into that one, but there's nothing going into these two. Now, it used to be this arrangement would work. But now things are a little different. You've got to use these valves. So let's run the pipes out from here. And let's see if I'm getting this right. Pop a valve out to here. And I believe you can hit that with the wand to keep it from connecting where you don't want it to. And then put the Essentia jars under the valves, I think. Now, you see that's not working because I can't see. Okay, that's connecting because there's something in there. Okay, we'll open this valve. Okay, right-click with an empty hand. That opens that valve. No, that closed it. Close all of those. That one is, yes, that's open. So the arbor that's in this one should pull the arbor out of that into there. And it doesn't seem to be. I wonder why that is. And strangely enough, these empty jars okay, maybe we have to do something with the labels. Let's see. Jars, labels. Black dye, paper, and slime. Okay. Some paper. Some black dye. And some slime. And I believe these can be converted to the other kind. Well, so much for that. Okay, that's all right. Okay, so let's go ahead and label this one for the stuff that's in it. Let's try break and replace the pipe. Okay. Perhaps advanced Essentia tube. Filter tube. So take a piece of tubing and put an Essentia, a Vise filter on it. I don't think we need to go with the restricted or directional. All right. So we'll make a few more Vise filters. Mix a few Essentia tubes with them. All right, that's enough to start with. Okay. Now, we got regular Essentia tube coming out, and then a filtered Essentia tube, or perhaps a valve. All right, let's pop that arbor back down here. Okay, that's not working because it's not connected to this. All right, regular tube. All right. I'm going to have to play around with this and come up with an arrangement that works. All right. I think I've got something figured out here. It's a little kludgy in my opinion, and it's far from an ideal way to do it, but it seems to be working. I've got the alembics hooked up here with the Essentia tube, and down here, Essentia valve. And after I had all the valves placed, I went back and I turned them all off, and then I put down the jars. And so, I then put in a bunch of gold into these the alchemical furnace here, and I've got a bunch of metallum here and lucrum there, more metallum up there, more lucrum up there. So I go ahead and open this first valve, and that should start drawing stuff out of the alembics. Yeah, it is open. You know what? I think it might be that the system doesn't know what material to put in there. So I think I've got a solution there. I have these glass files. Now with these things, you can right click on the alembic to pull out 8 of whatever Essentia. And then you can take the files, whatever. Okay, we got 8 metallum here, so we'll just right click on the jar, and that puts some in there. And let's go ahead and slap a label on that so that we know what it is. And let's see, there's well, oh yeah, here it is. Here's one with some lucrum in it, and we'll put a label on that jar. And now, if I open up this valve, the metallum is pulled directly into that jar. And I don't think I can get away with opening this one up too and having the lucrum automatically pulled. Now you can see the steam smoke pouring out there indicates a problem, so I'll go turn this one off. Alright, let's turn that one off and turn this one back on. Yeah. Alright, that jar is now full. They only hold 64. Turn that valve off. There's still some more metallum in the system. So we'll go ahead and turn this one on. And it's going in here, I think. We'll label that one metallum as well. That's still up there. See, that's why I said this is kind of kludgy. That one off, turn this one on, and we're getting the arm, the lucrum. What if I break that pipe and then replace it? Alright, let's get another file here. Grab some of that aspect. Close that valve. Drop this stuff in here. And open that valve. Label it. Okay. I think that's all of it, so we'll close that valve. See if we can get the lucrum to come out. Yes, we're getting it now. Okay, it can be done. It's kind of micromanaging to do it. But it seems to be working. Okay. This over here. Close that valve. Open this one. No, that one. Slap a label on it. All right. Can we get the rest of this stuff? Apparently we can. The trick, I think, is to only have one valve open at a time. There's a bunch of lucrum up here in this top one, so. There we go. And each jar can hold 64 of whatever Essentia. Now we've got this one here. I suppose I need to get another file out to prime that. To prime a jar with that. Once a jar is labeled, it's probably not necessary to prime it like that. Okay. It's a little kludgy, but it seems to be working. If nothing else, it will work enough to get some stuff gathered together over there to work stuff going on there. Until a better system can be put together. There is one better system I know about, and it will involve going through some Direwolf 20 videos and, frankly, blatantly copying what he's done there. And I will probably be doing that. And then next episode we'll come back and I'll walk you through what the system is and how it works. because it's going to be a long, slow, painful process of putting the system together. This piping system used to work so nice and easy, and now it's gotten so complicated that you can't do it manually. I mean, automatically. Maybe the others would work if I closed that one. What do you think? Yes, there we go. We have a warded jar of arbor. And that has taken out everything that was in those alembics. Just be sure to turn that thing off. Now, I understand they can be controlled with a redstone signal, and I imagine something could be put together there. What in tarnation is going on now? Well, anyway, like I said, I'm going to look into automating this, and next episode I am hoping to be able to show off my implementation of Direwolf 20's method of automating this that involves a combination of golems and the AE system. In the meantime, thanks for watching. Take it easy.